Hey guys, thanks for joining me. This is Angie at ChicnScratch. This is what we're making today, and it is day 5 of the 12 days of Christmas, and it opens up just like this, and inside is some candy. It will also hold a snack size bag of almonds. Maybe chocolate's more fun though, right? Okay, so let me give you the supplies. We're using real red cardstock that measures 9 3/4 by 8 1/2. And then we've got a piece of Mossy Meadow for these little dies right there. We've got 3 pieces of the Designer Series paper. And this measures 4 1/4 by 2 1/4. So 4 1/4 by 2 1/4. And then this one measures 4 1/4 by 1 1/2. Okay, so let me get the Simply Scored scoring tool. I'm not sure that I said it, but this is a triangle box. It's a little bit different from the one I've made in the past. Okay, so I'm going to place it on the 9 3/4 side. I call that the landscape side. And I'm going to score this at 2 1/2, 5 1/2, and 8. I'm going to turn it on the portrait side, which is the 8 1/2 inch side, and I'm going to score it at 2 inches on both sides. So I'm going to flip it around and score it again at 2 inches. You do want your bone folder for this project, so I'm going to fold on the score lines and use my bone folder to burnish it. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to remind you, be sure to check out my website later this week for my Black Friday, Cyber Monday specials. I will be announcing those on Wednesday, okay? So now, this end right here is the shorter end. If you look down here, that's much thicker. So we want to start with this end right here, and we're going to remove these 2 blocks, okay? There will be a diagram on my website along with the instruction sheet, so you'll be able to print the box template and the instruction sheet. Okay, same thing on this side. So you're going to remove all the way down to that second score line. Okay, now over here on this side, or this side and this side, because we're repeating the same thing, I'm going to cut up to the score line, and then I'm going to remove this section here. Same thing on this side. And cut. Okay, so that's how it looks right now. The next thing I'm going to do is take my detailed trio punch and go ahead and round the corners, so that way I don't get confused about which side of this is the top of my box or the flap that's going to be folding over. Okay? So now we want to work with this section here, and it measures approximately 3 inches. So what I'm going to do is take my ruler, and I'm going to mark it. I'm just going to make a little tick mark at the 1 1/2, okay? And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So just make a tick mark on the 1 1/2 inches. Now I'm going to take that ruler, and I'm going to use the small tip of my stylus, and I want to score this from this point to the corner on both sides. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to line up my ruler here to the point there, to that mark, that tick mark, and I'm just going to score with my stylus. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And then repeat over here on this side, okay? It's nice to use the Stampin' mat when you're doing that. It makes it a little bit easier. Okay, so now we want to fold on those score lines that we just made. and crease them with your, or burnish them with your bone folder. Because of the way this box closes, it's nice to use your bone folder, okay? So now we want to add the magnet. And I'm going to place it. I get these on Amazon. The link to them will be on my website. They're really small. I'll tell you that. They're teeny tiny. Off the top of my head, I can't tell you. I think it says 1 millimeter, 100 pieces. So they go a long ways. So what I'm going to do is take a glue dot. You can use whatever adhesive you want. A glue dot is the perfect size for that. So I'm just going to take the glue dot or the magnet and place it right on top like that. Okay, I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to place it right about there. Okay, now this box is going to get assembled like this, and this is going to fold over. So I want my magnets to line up, and I want them to attract to each other so that it keeps it closed. If you attach this up here on the wrong, go in the wrong direction, it won't stick to the magnet. See, watch me do that. See, that side sticks, but this side don't. So you want to make sure that you get it on the right side. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and attach it like that, and then I'm going to pick up my glue dot and then just place it right on top. Okay, and then again, I'm going to fold this over, and I will tell you, it's probably a good idea to go ahead and do our adhesive on the side. So let's do that real quick so that we don't mess up. I'm just going to take some tear-in tape. We are adding the magnets under the designer series paper, so hopefully you caught that. Okay, I'm going to take your pick tool. We're just removing the backing from the tear-in tape. I can see I just lost my magnet. It's okay. We'll put it back on there in a minute. So I'm going to bring this up just like that. And then the same thing over here. Okay, so now we're ready to attach our magnet, our second magnet. So we're going to add that here and then take a glue dot. Now I already did this, but when I was assembling the box, it attached to my grid paper and then it ripped. So here it is. So again, I'm going to place it right back on there. And then when we fold this over, it's going to line up exactly where we want it. And then it opens just like that. Okay. So now we're going to take our designer series paper and add it to the front, and then we're going to add one to the back as well. I'm just going to use my liquid glue. It works fantastic. And I want to make sure I put the adhesive on the right side. Okay. You want to make sure you get enough adhesive on this so that it sticks and it doesn't have a problem sticking to the magnet. I just attached this crooked, so I'm trying to fix it. There we go. See? Now this section here, we also need to use the detailed trio punch, and we want to round one side. And then we'll put our liquid glue on there. Okay, so now we're going to add the back piece, the back designer series paper. You can skip this step if you want to hang on to your designer series paper if you have a limited stash. I think that this is one of those boxes, though, that it's nice that you decorate the back side. Okay, so now we're ready to stamp. We're using this bundle. These are the 2 dies that we're using. So I've got my Very Vanilla cardstock here, and I'm going to stamp the image with Real Red right in the middle. Okay, so we're going to give that a second to dry, and then like I said, we're going to be using this die with the Mossy Meadow, and then this one with the Greeting. Okay, so now we're going to use this bow maker. I found it on Etsy for like $6, and I can give you the link. In fact, I'll post it on my website. So I'm going to use the bow maker to tie the bow that's on the front here. And I've got 16 inches, but you don't need 16. I just wanted to give myself enough room to be able to show you how to make it, okay? So what I'm going to do now is you add it to the bow maker like that, and then you cross over the left over the right, and it gives you like this breast cancer ribbon look, okay? So then I'm going to take this right tail and go under everything, so under there, and pull, and then I'm going to take that piece back there and bring it over to the left side, and now I'm switching hands. So that piece is going to be on the left. I'm taking my middle finger here and placing it on the back side there, and then I'm going to keep this one over here, but this one's going to go under. So watch, it's going to go under and then through that hole that my finger was holding, okay? And then I'm just going to pull tightly like that. Like I said, that's way more than what you need. 16 inches is actually too much. And you can make this bow bigger, or you can make it smaller, depending on your pegs. Again, the link to that will be on my website. Okay, so now what I want to do is just trim the ends. I know I feel guilty that I'm wasting so much, but I had to have a large amount to show you how to do the video, or how to do the bow. Okay, so then that's going to get attached up here. We'll just set that aside for just a minute, and let's go ahead and cut our pieces out. Okay, so I'm going to place the Greeting over here at an angle and cut it out. I was going to cut 2 at a time, but I decided I might better just cut 1. And now we're going to cut out the leaves. Okay, so I'm just going to use my Take Your Pick tool to get these little pieces out. I may have fast-forwarded parts of this video. Okay, so now what I want to do is add this on here, and I'm actually going to cut off. Let me show you. We don't need all of this, so I'm just going to cut off this section right here. So 1 branch, okay? And then I'm going to add this like that. And honestly, I just kind of rip that off to make it a little bit shorter. You can cut it if you want to, okay? So I'm going to take my liquid glue. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to this one and place it there. I will tell you that the silicone mat makes this a whole lot easier. I should have gotten that out. And I just want to make sure that I've got this in the center. There we go. Okay, that looks pretty good, right? We're going to take the glitter dots here. I'm using 2 of those. I have glue on my finger from the from attaching those leaves. Okay, so now I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to place dimensionals up here at the top. And it's going to get added just like that, okay? So I'm going to take the backing off. Place it in the center, just like that. And then this is going to get added with a glue dot. And you can use 2 if you prefer. Okay, so now let me show you. I know I had said a bag of almonds would fit in there, so I want to show you that it fits. So you open it up and you just slide those in there. And here's the box we just made, and here's my original. Pretty cute, right? Don't forget, there's a free PDF on my website. It has all the measurements, and Chick Candy 56, which is day 5. So where you leave your comment is on day 5 of the 12 days of Christmas. You're going to be, whoever wins is going to get the Perfectly Plaid stamp set. It's brand new. Okay, if you need anything, let me know. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.